almost like 10% of the market average. For what? Did you ask for large business? Did you ask for Hero Honda's contract for larger platform? Did you ask for using their existing facility? Did you ask for taking over their distribution system, which is still cheap but can be still used for a small, different market? We did not. That could have been your game changer in terms of your takeaway homes, right? When you are actually explaining to your board, you could have said, hey, the draft on table where I got this, but at the same time, I've actually got this to other fields.
I'm going to ask just one more question, because I'm very mindful of the time, then my colleagues should ask any other questions they've got. At one stage, you talked about, it was linked to commission, it was linked to term and all the rest of it. You talked about compliance and risk and things.
Common points.
What was that about? What were you thinking?
So that was just strictly on just the reasoning was that we had to, they asked, it was just an answer to the question of why is the fee so high, the 10%, and we had to say, you know, every new brand that comes on, we put the fee high because we need to mitigate risk just in case things go wrong. And then I wanted to use that as an avenue because I knew they were going to counter it with the 6.5% number. And that's why I then said to them, perhaps we can go to more agreeable options, say with the Jenny B, or say with Hero Hanada, or come with, as you said, create that. Try to find that non-monetary value that you can justify to put that price down. So it was, in a sense, a business formality. We proposed it that way. Although I do see the cons.
Because they reacted immediately, quite rightly. Hang on a minute, why is our business liability? You're coming to us because we're the sustainable guys. Actually, dressing it up around risk and liability, actually, purely commercial. We're going to make you a bankload of money. And end of story.
It could have actually, they are smart, they were actually given their product liability on. They would actually use that. Okay, fine, you take the risk, I raise my commission by 1%. Could have, but I must also say that, sorry,
No, you can go.
What we did really well is the Jenny B's contract spread that it could have actually used about working with Hero Hanada, for example, and make slight amendments to Jenny B's styles and social media and so on to get the benefit for the own platform as well as their perception. You came back at the end where you said that we can actually make some suggestion on molding, this behavior stuff and all. That actually helps in keeping them at least enthused about somebody is going to be looking at sustainability as their agenda, because that's their core agenda. They don't have any big thinking in mind because they're also only focusing on that and they're not assuming that they're dying down in the next couple of years. That part we did that.
Were you surprised by Hero Hanada's factory situation where the agreement is about to expire or has expired? Was that an important point?
Yes, it was definitely a concern, which was why I had unnecessarily reduced again the commission fee, was specifically his product range to incentivize them to go back to him and encourage him to join based on the fact that they were going to join such a large company. But again, it would have helped if we had leveraged the scale.
Yeah, and that was a creative suggestion. The problem with suddenly chucking out a creative suggestion like that is, I think I would want to have done some financial modelling. You know, so what's his fee going to be now? How much is this going to cost? As opposed to just saying, for all of his products, we'll drop our commission. You could actually have found there was a really important cost arbitration there that you could have done some deal on. Whereas you just sort of it was creative, but it didn't. It wasn't based on a sort of financial model.
Yeah, the financial,
Can you see that?
yeah, the financial modelling I had in the moment had assessed was that he was only covering 10% of their range.
Yeah.
So I thought that was quite a very low figure, which would justify maybe the low commission fee because the spread would be quite narrow. So that was kind of the
Which is
logic.
important to you. You're hoping that 10% is going to be a lot bigger.
Yeah, I mean, it would have helped if I had maybe suggested to them that maybe we can deal with him directly and bring him on board and possibly exchange contact details, and maybe he could have created an arrangement with us exclusively rather than having to go through.
But how do you think they would agree to that proposal?
Oh, that's why I didn't suggest that. That's why I didn't suggest it because I thought it wouldn't have.
If you put it in, they would try to think that you're taking off their business.
Exactly. No, that's why I did not mention it because I knew it could possibly help the negotiation and probably put them in a position.
How
Take a
important
position
is
of
this
growth.
deal for you?
I'd say it was important in a sense in again diversifying the glam couture range and heading on a trajectory where we follow market trends that could potentially offer more distinction to glam couture, given again we're in a fragmented market. So distinction and unique identity is very important in that sense, and creating a start along that trajectory was probably the rationale as to why we wanted to deal with them.
I think it was a very, very important deal. I think it would have been something that really established us as someone who's contributing towards those ESG initiatives. And I think if the negotiation, if it comes to those points and agreed, it could have really launched the business into a whole other area. Or, yeah, that's what I think. Yeah.
One point is, whenever you want a deal, the minute you let the other party know that you're actually giving in to want the deal moves away from you. And I don't know, I got the sense that you wanted the deal and they were trying to play the tough one, saying, no, this. So your need was actually on the table, whereas if you could have just stayed aloof from your need and focus on it, you would have done well.
We are a big company after all, we call shots. And I
And
think
between the two of you, you very intuitively changed with each other, relying on each other on some of the points and stuff like that. So that interaction was very good.
Just again, would like to agree on your point summarily that they need us more than we need them.
And you can do that sensitively, but you just need to be firm and clear and back it up with facts and things. And, so you were sensitive, but then too weak. I had visions of them doing a reverse takeover of Cambridgeshire and them being on the board and and look, the intention is in this part of the thing is that we give you a top grade. All right. This isn't intended for us to tell you how brilliant you are. Yeah. So well done, guys.
Okay. The fact that you survived, staying up the whole night and have kids.
Yeah, look, it's extraordinary. It's extraordinary. Yeah. And we've deliberately been tough, and I hope we'll be deliberately tough now. You don't get to see it. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Just so we're aware. I mean, I think we need to do as much as we think is necessary. Yeah, it doesn't need to be 20. But thank you. Very helpful.
You can ask your account to close the doors.
I don't want to be close to me. Right, thank you.
Let's give one arm away because
So.
Can I start with you? What do you think were the sort of top 3 points you wanted in the collaboration distribution? Your top 3.
I believe that the sustainability aspects, so the 3 commitments we mentioned at the start, aspirational objective to reduce reliance on unsustainable brands, the need for recyclable packaging for for wardrobe business products immediately, and third commitment would be the recyclable packaging for other products within 2 years. So that's one, the top, I guess. The second one will be, of course, the distribution agreement. That's what we are primarily here for as well. This agreement, we want, of course, there are a lot of terms involved. We want it decently cheap. We want it ideally non-exclusive. We also want things like the sustainability commitments embodied into it. So, and duration as well. So that's our second core item. I guess the third core item would be the designer issues or brand ambassador issues. Of course, it's quite broad. We don't have much information on our confidential information, so we're trying to provide information about what do you want to know about Hero Hanada. And then we offer what we thought about Jenny and see whether there's any synergies that can be found there. So those were our general 3 points I wanted to discover.
How do you think your team did on all those 3 points?
I think based on our strategy at least, which is we are not under any deal making pressure, so we want to be very clear as to who are we partnering with. And so being very clinical with our questions, can you meet our bottom lines? And if you do meet our bottom lines, what are your metrics that are you using? What standards are you using? So this to us this requires us to be a bit more, I guess, careful with who we're partnering and really try to understand their concerns, their commitments, and their capabilities. So in terms of meeting our goals, one, we're not like dying to make a deal, but two, we are open to working with them so long as they are the right partner for us.
You are a much bigger company with a massive outreach, and you have one of the most youngest offering. Didn't you want to get on there?
And
Your international difficulties.
indeed, but
David, and just plug this question for you. You're the CEO of the company. How many years do you think you will sustain like this? You're a COVID negative stock because you're operating all along offline and you are partnering with somebody on the online spaces, a tier 3 player who doesn't have a good system. So you're almost on the verge of dying down. You're declining more. Why do you think that you are not in this need of this team?
So for one, we're not very clear as to our financial position. We do understand that there are some financial difficulties, profits are going down. But if this is tied to COVID-19, this is cyclical. Countries will move out of COVID. In-person commerce will still be an important part of shopping. So I mean, yes, those are important, but I think on a global basis, holistically, we don't think that we are not under a key deal making pressure. But what we are concerned is that the board has given us has highlighted 3 important points about maintaining brand image, maintaining our sustainability focus. So we have to really focus, we have to really understand and address some of the board requirements for.
You've heard the expression winning the battle, losing the war.
Yes.
Do you think you're in danger of losing this deal?
I do think that we had this in consideration, but we do have Ego Clothing as a competitor, which is offering quite a low price. Of course, it's not as big as Glam.
It's a rubbish system, and it's just in one country. Glam Couture are global.
That's true, but I guess on the facts, we do not know whether there are other global distributors that will be willing to work with us. I think to address his question on this as well, even though we may be small, but we do have valuable assets. They are ESG centric. These are future-proof and quite immune to some of the legal regulations that may emerge, especially in relation to fashion.
You're in danger, I'm going to suggest, of being so successful in the negotiation that they couldn't possibly have done the deal because it was going to affect their relationship with all of the other brands that they work with. They do some incredibly advantageous deal with you. What are the other brands going to say when you've got this fantastic deal?
I mean, to us, it's willing buyer, willing seller. If they had agreed to us this, we can't be faulted on them agreeing to give us extremely good terms. So it's really on them to say, hey, this may not be very fair for my other brands. Maybe could we, I guess.
You already compromised your deal from 1.5% to 4.5%. It is again not going to make profit for you. In your current scenario, you have to rethink on your unit economics because you went from 1.5 to 4.5 on your distribution. They were good to say that they have gone down from 10 to 4.5, but who has reached the number? It's you actually.
I think I could add first before they on finance addresses. Well, we do need to crunch the numbers. We actually don't have much data on hand. We don't know the market rates for all these distribution agreements. We don't know what it will materialize and there's no uncertainty in business as always. So we really needed to think about it.
But did you flag that? Did you say that before we can agree to any of this, we're going to need to do some modelling?
I think we asked them what is the market rate for commissions, and they said 5%, 10%, which they originally offered was 2 times the market rate. So we were a bit, we were caught off guard with that big number.
Right? You reacted very effectively to that.
Yeah, you did a good job on that to bring them from 10 to 4.5, but what I don't know whether you think about it or not. Do you take advantage of their platform?
Take advantage of the platform.
Because of they are such a large player, you get associated with them. The kind of coverage that we have, the kind of migration from one country to X number of countries, a great online platform, exit from because what's his name? They're having the contract sunsetting in 6 months' time.
Yes.
You had a great partner, Hero Honda. You could have marketed that, saying he is my partner, he will do the branding for your entire platform for you. Right? Actually, you considered a great point, saying my contract with Hero has actually gone for a toss. I have to negotiate. So do you don't think that they can actually approach Hero Honda soon and then get him on board?
I think that was a risk that we contemplated. But I believe that Hero and others is a close friend of David, and the fact that we are close friends suggests that Hero and others is quite ESG aligned. And we also know that Land Patrol hasn't has the best ESG reputation following JNB. So there's a risk that if we don't
If they are partnering with you for ESG or so-called sustainability, why can't they partner with Hero Honda for the same system? You can say, I give you more fees, come and do the same thing for 20 other brands.
Do you know the concept of gun jumping in legal parlance? So gun jumping is a concept where you disclose information and you don't have binding agreements, which is to be commercially sensitive. What I gathered from you, you were very openly disclosing a lot of your information when there is no deal on the table. You might have got a confidentiality agreement between yourselves, but there was you were giving out your eco clothing numbers. You were talking about Moriamata. Do you think that was the right line of thinking in disclosing such information, which could be quite sensitive? As Rakesh said, they could have straight onto that chap and entered into an agreement.
I guess I could address this question. So we didn't. Sorry, the point was.
Sharing of competitively sensitive information in the course of a negotiation, because you were giving out a lot of information. Did you think about, should I be honest with where currently things stand, or should I hold back some information? Do you have any thought process around it?
Of course, we are, in relation to the honesty, we are definitely honest because we want to make sure that if they ask us for representations or some form of guarantees, we will definitely be able to satisfy them. So we're definitely honest. As for whether we should have withheld more information, I think it's about we wanted the deal done as well. That's why we disclosed more information first than we should. But of course, we think that it was effective. As for the eco clothing point, actually we chose to withhold the precise number of 4.5%. So for that particular number, we didn't disclose it intentionally, so we can have it.
We suggested that it was 5%, 10% was way higher than what we currently have. So we were trying to use that to, I guess, push the commission rate down. So
Overall, what do you think the negotiation that you ended in really is? How confident are you that they're going to come back on the table and they're going to negotiate with you and the deal is there?
I guess I took the notes for this, and I can say that it seems quite promising. We offered, we considered things like commission structure for various percentages. We threw out numbers and then we could bring that to the board. We talk about exclusivity, how this will impact the commission structure, how about performance targets that they may have. They seem to express a lot of interest still in this deal, and we do think that it could crystallize into something more solid.
Seemingly, they are quite happy with our existing relationship with Hero Hanada, or rather, they are quite happy to help us maintain our relationship with Hero Hanada. So, all in all, I think we have hit our outcomes.
At one stage, they threw out a sort of 2% of production costs number, and you didn't pick up on that clearly and asked them what they meant by that.
We did query them, that's in relation to the packaging, because they were concerned about the bottom lines, in relation to the use of 100% recyclables in our mistaken. So I think we made it very clear that this is a red line. Don't use recyclables. You will not even consider onboarding or listing our products on your end. And we made it very clear to them that if this does happen, then we need mechanisms to extricate ourselves from the platform. So I mean, that's us.
Do you think it was a sensible thing to do right at the outset? This is a question. To talk about your red lines, rather than to have what might otherwise have been an open discussion in which you have expressed your views. I mean, talking about red lines can be very powerful if you're in a very powerful position. But talking about red lines can actually finish the deal dead if your red lines don't meet theirs. Have you thought about the risk of that in terms of technique?
I think we did think about it. We thought that it would be good to highlight what we can do and what we cannot do. If, of course, if we cannot meet eye to eye, then maybe we save time on further negotiations after all. So I don't think we should view it as a bad thing that it comes out there early. I think it saves time and it's quite.
It can save time, but my question is that in the overall context of a transaction, you might find that one red line actually moves a little bit if you agree something more attractive on commissions or something like that. In other words, I think I'm suggesting to you there's a real risk of just having a series of things that are just, and to bring them up right at the beginning. They may have just said to you, we're bringing an enormous amount of value to what we're doing. This is what we can achieve. And you're slightly surprised that you're now trying to really dictate terms to us. But that was an intention. Clearly, it was an intention.
You're absolutely right, and I'm just being on the point. I must tell you, among four of you, you guys did a great job on the first introduction. I quite like it. Especially, you talked about what's your company's prerogative and objectives. You set the sustainability mark really well, and they got trapped in it. But that did not call for additional elaboration of that, and especially David from you. When you started, and it is the beginning of the conversation for the first maybe 45 seconds or 1 minute, that here is my non-negotiable. You don't start it. That's a conversation non-start. You explained, right? You were a sustainability focused company, and you talked about 3Ps and so on. It was great. But you kill that advantage by making decisions. Saying, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this.
If I was in a real negotiation, I think there was 90% chance of them saying, actually, we should not have this discussion.
So just to help you a little bit more on that, as Rakesh says, I thought you did brilliantly. The introduction, you made it really clear, you set the tone and all the rest of it. I think the mistake was then asking your lawyer to actually, it didn't need a lawyer's input at that stage, because this was a commercial sort of, this is my position. And it was only through the lawyer's input that the red lines came out.
So I think that was your danger. So you undermined a brilliant start with a highly risky strategy. Actually, we think probably have succeeded, but it was high risk. High risk.
So with a lower risk way of doing it, just to highlight very broadly what our interests are, and then not talk about red lines, only say something question about that.
Look, I don't think we can ever dictate how a negotiation should go, but I think probably they were in a better position to dictate red lines than you were. You know, they're making all the money. If you disappear tomorrow, they're still highly successful. All right?
Tell me, what is your position on JNB?
I guess I was the one who introduced the issue. I think we gave it a little one for her to continue as a brand ambassador. Of course, in our confidential information, it does not say that it's a grade 9 rule, that it cannot have Jenny B absolutely. So of course they propose things like, oh, we have Jenny B continue, but we want we can offer commitments or obligations for her. They didn't list out what obligations that were, but of course we were open to hearing and negotiating on it. So we thought that was okay. But of course we want to be privy to the contract because if not then there may be a problem. Even though this will be a bit onerous. And we also want that accountable with guidelines itself. And so this shape our discussion.
So do you think the first half of the conversation was only on sustainability?
In relation to the red lines, because the way that we pitched it, then yes, it was really on sustainability.
So did you find that the later half, when you talked about GenEV and one other point, you were almost rushing into it because time was running out? Did you get that sense?
I believe, I mean, because time was indeed rushing us. So I guess what our intention was really to flag this issue out, just gather some information, impart some, I guess, nuggets of knowledge for them, and then you say, take it back to the board, maybe consider, maybe, and we'll consider that as well. We're not sticking to, we're not agreeing on anything, but we're just going to open this, just going to give you what ideas we have, and then bring it to the next negotiation where we can actually develop this thing. So I think our intention wasn't to rush, but just to introduce it in a brief manner, so as to allow future discussions.
I mean, our alternative was to omit it, and of course, that would be probably worse than not mentioning it.
Different advantage you had. You are the CEO and the founder, right? If there are all the companies are board member and keep taking that as a common basic. Being a founder and CEO, you have an advantage of laying out few things and playing the story of building this relationship as also another foundation to build a larger business. Not only was CEO, he's taking forward from where he is taking forward. You have built this business grounds. If this relationship is going to be a marking one for you, and I strongly feel that you need this more than they need it, right? You could have just used their platform with your business acumen of developing something from the ground zero to a sustainable business to make their business a sustainable business in X years of time. You did not produce that data saying, look, what are the following things that I have done which could help you generate that business. So here is what I need for exclusivity. Here is what I need for JNAV. Here is what I need for Hero Honada. You could have actually shared the Hero Honada contract cost with them.
So I think, in a different way, what Rakesh is saying is that the danger was because you were being so successful, you weren't going to get it in. Number one. Number two, that you could have used your messaging more to support actually this is going to help your business rather than this is all about me, our business, our red lines, and all the rest of it. Because actually, this scenario, unlike some of the scenarios we've had in other years, there was quite a lot of alignment. So maybe, which is why I talked about battles and winning battles, not winning a war. That you could have turned it around a little bit more and sold it to them as good for them,
rather than necessarily just good for you.
I haven't got anything else, please.
No.
Yeah.
Are we all good?
That's right. Okay.
So,
Yes.
so we're now going to retire to discuss. We're going to do our forms and things, and then it'll all get announced at the closing ceremony in a bit. Is that all right? Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
We go down.